What is up, guys? James here from the Light of Riga YouTube channel, and in this video we're going to be doing the weekly reading for the week of October 28th through November 3rd. Big things happening this week, let me tell you. We're coming off the energy of the full moon, and it wasn't a severe energy to me. I mean, I didn't feel it as much. It was a more tamer full moon, but everyone experiences energies differently. But so we're coming off of that, and then this coming week we've got Halloween, we've got Samhain, all sorts of things happening. Tomorrow I'm going to be releasing my Halloween Samhain readings, so look forward to that. So we're going to get a little bit, we're still diving into the darkness a little bit, but not too badly. It's also my birthday tomorrow, so shout out to all you fellow Scorpios out there. It's Scorpio season, and everyone else be careful. Okay. Scorpios are very unique, and anyway, let's not generalize. So big things happening this week, including Halloween and Samhain. So I want to wish you all a happy Halloween and Samhain in advance, so that I hope you guys are getting ready. Anyway, so what we're going to do today is, all month we've been using some darker decks. We've been dealing with the shadow. We've been really getting into the spirit of the season, and this will be the last one. We're going to be using the darker decks that we've been using all month. So I got 3 decks here today, 3 different cards from 3 different decks, and I don't know, I'm kind of sick of it, to be honest with you. I'm done. I just made 12 videos dealing with this, so I'm ready to get back into more positivity. So this will be the last one, besides tomorrow's readings, that we use these darker decks, and we'll put them aside until... well, not until next Halloween, because I love, especially this one and this one. I love all of these decks, and they're not seasonal decks, really. They're anytime you need to do shadow work, I think. Anyway, I'm rambling. Oh, one last thing. We got Archibald off screen here, off camera, and he's gonna help us with today's reading. You'll see him in tomorrow's reading as well. He's gonna help us deal with the shadow. He's been helping me all month, bring up some shadow stuff. So thank you, Archibald, for your help here today. And let's get into it. Without further ado, I've rambled on for far too long. The first card we're going to look at comes from the Dark Grimoire Tarot. Of course, we're going to look at these cards individually, then see what they have to tell us as a whole. And we've got the 4 of Chalices. And, this is a card of indecision, apathy, maybe. It seems like maybe many of you are also feeling kind of exhausted. I'm not feeling physically exhausted. I'm just like emotionally drained, I think, from all the shadow work that I've been doing, and hopefully you've been doing too. And I think part of this is kind of the veil thinning, and I felt a greater connection to my higher self, and to my guides, and to just my abilities, my intuitive abilities. So it's a little bit overwhelming, and I get the feeling that a lot of us are going to feel like we need a little bit of a break from all of it. And maybe it's the hecticness of the season. I know it's not like the holiday season where you're out running around buying stuff, but it can be exhausting if you're someone who really prepares for Halloween. You got to get all the decorations, you got to find a costume, plan the parties or whatever, or it just could be just in general from work or from life. I think a lot of us are probably feeling a little bit like we need a break, maybe, and I think the 4 of Cups here is saying that there's going to be a little bit of malaise early in the week, and just kind of just like a blah feeling for a lot of people, and that's fine. This is a chance for you to examine the self, to ask yourself, where do I want to go forward from here? Almost like a Hanged Man energy, right? Is kind of the feeling that I'm getting from this card, more so than the traditional 4 of Cups energy of just planning things out and taking a break, and going back into the fray, just with recharged batteries, sort of. So kind of a fatigued kind of energy. So let's move on over to this card. This is the Omega Land Tarot. This is the tarot deck that's based in the post-apocalypse, and we've got the 10 of Swords. And these 2 cards definitely go hand in hand. The 10 of Swords is a card of the mind getting to be too much as well. The mind, right? The fear, the ego telling you everything that's gonna go wrong. You know how the mind does. It creates fears, it creates paranoias, anxieties, and worries, and all sorts of things that aren't really serving you. And I get the feeling that this week, it may all be coming to a head. I think a lot of us are going to find that our ego minds have been leading us down a the wrong path. No, let's not say the wrong path, but a path that's going to lead to exhaustion. We got 2 cards here of just exhaustion, of just having or needing a break, I think. And so it seems like the break that is needed may be a result of the ego. So I encourage you all this week to really analyze the mind. How is the mind creating problems for you that don't actually exist? You're going to have to be honest with yourself. You're going to have to see things from a higher vantage point in order to answer that question, because so many of us associate with our minds. We think that we are our minds, when the reality is we are our souls, and the mind is just a part of the suit that we're wearing, right? And it's been molded by other people, and other people have their own fear programs, and they've downloaded or uploaded their fear programs into us since birth. And so it's very important that we disassociate from the mind as much as possible. Realize that it's just basically a computer program that's running in the background. And the more that you can get to that point, the less these 10 of Swords types energies are going to come up. The less you're going to feel fatigued. The less you're going to have worry. The less you're going to have stress. So definitely the ego mind seems to be an issue this week. And it's like I said, it's Halloween. It's Samhain. A lot of dark energies surrounding this time of year, because society embraces it. For one day a year, society will embrace the demons and the vampires and the ghouls and the ghosts, right? So and a lot of that is shadow stuff. Okay, so the shadow stuff, like I said, like I'm getting tired of it, can be exhausting. Okay, so let's move on to this last card. This comes from the Mortem Oraculum, and I've talked about this ad nauseum, but it's crafted in human blood. It's one of my favorite oracle decks, just because it's so unique. Real human. This is a print, obviously. All of them are prints, so I'm not actually touching human blood, but it was painted originally. All the original artwork was done with human blood. So one of the darker decks, but at the same time, I think I've talked about this earlier this month. Is human blood. Society may say, it symbolizes death, but without blood, you can't have life. To me, it symbolizes life. It's life liquid. Anyway, we've got transformation and a beautiful cobra. Okay, the feeling I'm getting here is that this week it's all coming to a head. The 10 of Swords symbolizes the ending of a cycle, and now we've got the transformation card, and we've got a snake. Snakes to me symbolize logic. When you think of popular culture, all the snakes that can talk, they're very smart, they're very cunning, they're very conniving, they're deceptive, all the things that I would use to describe the ego mind. So I think what's going to happen this week for a lot of us is a transformation of our thoughts. Basically, what the feeling I'm getting from these cards is that this week is going to be filled with kind of some dark thoughts for a lot of us. And a lot of us are going to say, you know what, I've had enough. Okay, I have enough of those dark thoughts, enough of negativity. It's time to make a change. And so this week is seemingly about transformation of the mind, transformation of the way you think, and maybe hopefully a decision to start thinking more positively, and to see, after we come out of Halloween and we go into November, and we start to, at least in the United States, we start thinking about more gratitude. As we move towards Thanksgiving, we start to get away from that negative dark energy, the ego energy, and start moving towards the heart and towards the gratitude energy of November. So definitely, I think at the end of the week, we're due for some sort of transformation. I think we're due to get out of this Halloween-y, dark, ritualistic type energy and start moving towards a happier, more positive vibration. So yes, this week seems to have some low vibe stuff going on with it, and there's going to be struggles in dealing with that. But I think by the end of the week, I think a lot of us are going to start pulling out of it, and we're going to say, you know what, it's time to start having a more positive vibration, start to use our minds in a positive way rather than in a negative way. Yeah, cool, huh? Does that make sense? Did that resonate with anybody? Well, you'll see as the week goes, I guess. But that is going to be the reading for this week. Remember, this is a general reading, okay? It's not meant to apply to everyone. If you would like to book a reading with me, you can go over to my website, lightofriga.com. Be sure to do all the YouTube stuff, the liking, the sharing, subscribing, the commenting. I really do appreciate all of it. And I want to thank you for watching. I want to wish you guys a happy Samhain, a happy Halloween, a great week ahead. Oh, I got a new outro. I'm gonna try doing a new outro. You know, we're talking about moving towards higher vibrations. So I want to thank you for watching. Leave a like if you enjoyed this. Happy taroting. Peace and love.